everyone, welcome my soul family to today's spirituality retreat. This is going to be a special retreat in honor of this end of the year of 2020, and also as we approach 2021. There is a lot of spiritual guidance that wants to come through today, so I made sure to do this early. But we're also celebrating the full moon in Cancer, so we're going to also talk about that, how we can best harness these energies and really accentuate our rituals at this moment, because we are in a very important time. Like I said in my Lightworker University presentation, you know, this transition between the year 2020 to 2021 is a big one, and we need to make sure that we're ready and that we're healed, right? But above all, that we're nurtured and we're really focusing on giving ourselves that self-love. I was really feeling the pink today, and I was even pushed to wear pink today. And this is obviously about opening up our heart, right? Think about a rose quartz. I basically look like a rose quartz right now, right? Because I'm all pink. But this is the energy of self-love, especially more than anything, because this can help us in relationships, in our career, in the way that we present and value ourselves, right? The more self-love we have, the more time we actually put for me time and doing the things that we love, doing the things that actually heal us, then we're gonna come off as better people anyway. So it's a win-win situation. And so I feel like a huge theme of this end of the year that I want to bring today in our spirituality retreat is make it one of your New Year resolutions that you will at least dedicate one day of the week just for your self-care. And this is not about, you know, leaving it for the end of the day and then doing it when you have time, or just doing it for an hour that day and that's what your self-care is. No, I'm actually challenging you to go the extra mile when it comes to taking care of yourself, because this is going to help us all on a spiritual level and all of us physically as well, keeping us immune and keeping us healthy, because we all need time off, even mentally and especially emotionally. So this even means taking time off your relationship if you already are involved in an intimate romantic partnership, and if you have a family and have kids, this also applies to you. Take a day off of the entire week. If you have a partner, a husband, they can take that duty for that day, and then you can switch it off so that they can also take their me day. And then of course there's the balance where you can come together, have your couple time, and then have your family time. There is always room to make a day yours. So this is your challenge, to try to find that space, and if you don't have that space currently in your schedule, then find the time and make it. So this is about rearranging our schedules as well, our routine. So I don't know about you, but a huge ritual of my new year, I love, you know, the beginning of a new year and the ending of the previous year, because this is when I start to set my intentions. And I know that we're pretty much really early, but not really. I'm doing this a little bit like 4 days in advance. Currently we're on Sunday. I like to do all my spirituality retreats on Sunday because those are my days off. And this is healing for me, you know, even though I'm showing up here for the world, I also do these spirituality retreats for myself. I watch them and I enjoy doing them because it kind of keeps me accountable to do this healing on a regular basis. And what I'm planning for this new year, as we approach New Year, first of all, I took time off my job, my work. My main job is soul coaching and my spiritual counseling TV network. So I took a whole 2 weeks off at this end of the year. So I'm not going to come back until like January 11th, 2021. So if you don't hear from me the following week after New Year, because of course I'm still going to be posting as we approach New Year. We have that special Lightworker University presentation that I'm really looking forward to, which is basically going to be an extension of what we're going to talk about today. And make sure to watch that introductory speech that I did. It was like 38 minutes because there was just so much to say, and there's still a lot more to say. And you know, part of my ritual, of course, is taking time off, taking time to purify myself, do like a whole week of a retreat. That's what I'm actually gonna do. I already booked myself like a spa a spa week and like just doing some purification and retreat rituals that I'm going to be doing the following week. So I'm going to be out basically and not here doing my job, like I'm taking vacation basically. And another aspect of what I like to do as we approach the new year is definitely make sure that I already have my 2021 planner. So mine's already on the way. I got it ordered, and I always like to start my new year also with a vision board. And that's something that I'm going to be showcasing to all of you in the holiday office party that I'm going to be having sometime this week, right before the new year, provided by my Spiritual Counseling TV network. So that's going to be fun because I'm going to educate you as well as to how to set your intentions, because guess what? The first moon cycle of the new year is literally a new moon. So this is like perfect timing, all of it. And you know, I also wanted to bring in today, you know, my health and wellness website as a whole. I'm so grateful that I created this and that it's given us this space to actually stay accountable to our healing. You know, more focus on meditation and yoga, which is our spiritual practice, making sure that we're eating whole, holistic nutrition and healthy foods, right? And getting creative with these recipes, because believe it or not, it can feel very therapeutic and artistic to come up with new recipes and, you know, just take your time to experiment with new ingredients and have fun with it, right? It can either be a family thing or just a you thing. So let's talk a little bit about this me day. What is this me day really about? First of all, a me day means no working. No working from your regular day. So it's kind of like taking yourself out of that regular day-to-day routine, right? And allowing yourself to do whatever it is that your heart desires that day. Maybe all you want to do is daydream that day. And that's okay, because remember that daydreaming is the seed of creativity. Maybe all you want to do that day is work on your creative projects. Then do that, because maybe that's what you're being called to do. Maybe your spiritual gifts will develop in that alone time, in that quiet, silent time, and that stillness, right? And maybe all you want to do is just be active all day, and maybe you want to like exercise or do some yoga flows or just meditate more that day. Whatever it is that you want to do that day, do it. And I promise you that if we all start this new little habit, our life quality is going to improve so much, but also our personality and our ability to cope with stress and actually be immune to stress, because we're going to see life through another lens. We're going to see it through more positive eyes, and we're going to be very nurtured, so nothing's going to get to us. And that's a key part in healing, in relationships even, in communications, and in the way that we handle stresses, situations, and other people. So this is going to be very important for us this year. Now, another tip that I want to give to you all is I actually found something that I did 2 years ago, okay? And I want to start doing it for this new year, 2021. So here I'm drinking my hot cocoa. If you want to know my recipes, definitely go to my Holistic Nutrition series and the Holiday Baking Edition. I give you all my secrets, and I have some free ones also on my Instagram. Okay, so part of a little exercise that I did in 2019 was I challenged myself that for every week of the year, I would get a little post-it note and write the most exciting thing that happened that week, the highlight of the week. And then I put it down into this bottle. And now that I look back on this, I was looking at this before I did this retreat, and I remembered, wow, I remember that. That was so much fun what I did. And I have all my memories of the entire year here. I did skip out on a few weeks, but I want to do this year as well, this new year coming up. And I challenge you all to do the same. For every week, at the end of the week, think of the main highlight. Pick one main highlight. So that by the end of the year, you should have 52 post-it notes in here. And by the year 2022, you're going to see how much you actually maximized your year and your time, despite whatever's happening around the world. Because we can always be happy now, and we can always have fun, no matter what. Nothing's stopping us, right? So that's a huge guidance and tip for you all, a little exercise that you guys can definitely use to bring in more happiness and joy, and actually force you to bring in more excitement and adventure into your life. Because if by the end of the week you haven't done something exciting and you feel like nothing was the highlight of that week, then you still have that last Sunday to make something out of it. Because this is about living a high quality life and appreciating every single moment. We want to live in the moment. We don't want to take any second for granted. Especially with what happened this year, we have learned our lesson, and we want to make sure that we keep this lesson with us into our new future. Because yes, we're stepping into this new chapter. Okay, so that's just a little introduction of how I'm going to do today's spirituality retreat. I'm going to do a meditation ensemble healing like I always do. That's going to be kind of like the norm for every spirituality retreat, and maybe we can do some mantras as well. But before that, I also want to make today's spirituality retreat a little extra long, just like the Christmas one that I did, because I have a whole set of oracle cards here that I was really guided to bring. I did this last year as well, but I did it for private, only for those who paid for the event. And you know, for my Lightworker University event, it's going to be a little different. It's going to be more of a motivational speech and guidance month by month. So that's going to be like a 3-hour event. But today I want to come up with a general spiritual guidance for the entire new year of 2021. Because in the Lightworker University event that you can sign up under my upcoming events calendar on my website, ChristieRamirez.com, I'm going to go month by month. So we're going to know exactly what we need to focus on each month. And let me tell you that when I did this last year, it really did help me throughout this year to maximize it and to realize that I truly can make the most of it. And I knew that I was always on track because I had already basically foreseen it, right? And I had already known that everything was going to be all right. But of course I didn't see that coming, you know, what happened this year. But I did feel some weird energy. I just didn't know what it was. But sooner or later it showed up. So let us take this through our own interpretation in whatever way this might resonate with you today. And I'm also going to be asking for spiritual guidance as to how we can best heal our chakras during this time. And you know what? I also have a special surprise coming up for this new year 2021. I have been working on this book, Heal from the Inside Out, which is basically a guidebook for chakra healing. And I've been working on this book for like over a year already. And it's just about to be finished. Just the finishing touches, getting a new cover, and then actually publishing it. This book is to be most likely going to be released in spring of 2021 because I also want to complement it with a program. So there's going to be a meditation and yoga program along with that book. And I am so excited already to start getting ready with that. But I'm finishing up other projects first, right? Like my 2020 on New You program, which I definitely recommend that you also purchase for this new year because it's going to come with a journal. And you don't understand the healing potential of that program. I have been doing it myself, and I already feel that I've really been going deep into the subconscious wounds that might have resurfaced throughout the year with triggers. And unless you don't really heal them profoundly, they're gonna keep showing up in life, and we don't want to be there anymore, right? We want to be completely free. We want to be completely unattached from the past. And we want to be liberated so that we can step forward as spiritual beings to do whatever it is that we desire, our true destiny. So I really encourage you all to check out that program because it's going to keep you in check and help you to realize where you need more healing and perhaps a little extra help. And so that's how I want to begin today's. I want to begin then with today's reading. I did say I was going to do one last time, but I wasn't really called for it. And of course, the Prophet book. Let's look at that book because I remember that we said last time in that last spirituality retreat, we got messages. So that's definitely a sign that we need to take a look at this. What's coming up for us in this year 2021? 2020 the last spirituality retreat that we had, which I actually got mistaken. It was a new moon. It was a new moon in Sagittarius. I said full moon by mistake. Today is the full moon in Cancer. Okay, so that's why we were talking a lot about these intentions. So the energy was still the same though. There's marshmallows in here. Okay, wow, what a perfect message, because the love show is also coming up right before this new year ends. And the subject is on love. That's going to be a major theme for 2021. And I'm also going to be coming up with my couples therapy talk show in my spiritual counseling TV network. But today, this is definitely what wants to come through. Let's talk a little bit about love. It's a very short poem. So then said Amitra, speak to us of love. And he raised his head and looked upon the people. And there fell a stillness upon them. And with a great voice he said, when love beckons to you, follow him. Though his ways are hard and steep, and when his wings enfold you, yield to him. Though the sword hidden among his pinions may wound you. And when he speaks to you, believe in him. Though his voice may shatter your dreams, as the north wind lays waste the garden. For even as love crowns you, so shall he crucify you. Even as he is for your growth, so is he for your pruning. So think of a rose, right, that grows and blooms into this beautiful flower. But it also needs pruning of the weeds. It needs cleansing along the development. So this obviously relates to us. We need to be healing ourselves little by little, not wait till it's just way too much. Not wait till all the dust has been put under the rug, right? We don't want it to get overwhelming. We want to be cleansing ourselves little by little on a weekly, daily basis, right? Just like you clean your home. You clean it and maintain it, right? You don't wait till it gets dirty and all black, because that would be gross, right? And that's not really actually healthy for our spiritual aura. So we want to make sure that our space and everything is spotless, crystal clean. Even as he ascends to your height and caresses your tenderest branches that quiver in the sun, so shall he descend to your roots and shake them in their clinging to the earth. So this is of course about staying grounded. Even though you're rising and ascending spiritually, you also still want to maintain grounded. Like sheaves of corn, he gathers you unto himself. He threshes you to make you naked. He sifts you to free you from your husk. He grinds you to whiteness. Think of innocence, purification. He kneads you unto your pliant. And then he assigns you to a sacred fire, that you may become sacred bread for God's sacred feast. And now this is about sacred love and true spiritual union. And this is exactly the theme for the love show. So I'm excited to premiere that show already. All these things shall love do unto you, that you may know the secrets of your heart, and in that knowledge become a fragment of life's heart. But if in your fear you would seek only love's peace and love's pleasure, then it is better for you that you cover your nakedness and pass out of love's threshing floor into the seasonless world where you shall laugh, but not all of your laughter, and weep, but not all of your tears. Love gives not but itself, and takes not but from itself. Love possesses not, nor would it be possessed, right? Love is free. Love doesn't control, love doesn't obsess, and love doesn't possess, right? It's not selfish, and it's not even jealous, right? Think of what the Bible says in the Corinthians. True love, for love is sufficient unto love. And when you love, you should not say, God is in my heart, but rather, I am in the heart of God. And think not you can direct the course of love, for love, if it finds you worthy, directs your course. And I love that quote right there, because it's not about you choosing who is going to be your love partner. we need to surrender to God to give us our love partner, because love finds us. We don't find the love. So this is very humbling, and it really requires that we let go of any expectations of how we expect our love life to turn out, or who our love partner to be. Because at the end of the day, our destiny is always going to prevail no matter what. And nothing can change that, and nothing can get in the way of that. And we want to live in our destiny, right? Because that will be a happy relationship for us. That's going to be truly worthy, and it's going to be on the same mission. And it's going to be what's in God's divine will, in God's divine plan. So love has no other desire but to fulfill itself, right? Fulfill the mission as to why these two partners came together. But if you love and must needs have desires, let these be your desires, to melt and be like a running brook that sings its melody to the night. This is about surrender. To know the pain of too much tenderness. To be wounded by your own understanding of love. This truth that I just mentioned to you, it can wound some people because some people don't want to hear that. And we've all been there, right? When we're young and more naive when it comes to love. But the truth is that at the end of the day, first of all, there's only one true partner for us, the one. And second of all, not all love relationships are meant to last for this very reason, because not all of them are in your destiny. Sometimes you just learn from people and then you move on. Sometimes people inspire you to be better and then you move on to your real partner. Sometimes you just need to learn a lesson, and that's this understanding that we need to accept at the end of the day. Because when we could accept that, we can move on to the next chapter of our life. You see, and to bleed willingly and joyfully. This is about bleeding. Of course, we all experience heartbreak. But if we can do this willingly and joyfully, knowing that it's for the best, the higher best, then we're going to be able to wake at dawn with a winged heart, open heart, and give thanks for another day of loving. Because we've moved on with experience, to rest at the noon hour and meditate love's ecstasy, to return home at eventide with gratitude, and then to sleep with a prayer for the beloved in your heart, which is your true beloved, and a song of praise upon your lips. And also realize that this love that we're talking about, meditating on love's ecstasy, this love can come from God, your relationship with Spirit, and your own self. It doesn't need to come from another person. But eventually we do all have our spiritual beloved, right? And this is very unique to everyone. But I promise you that, you can definitely find it if you were willing to surrender everything from the past. Let's get started with today's reading now. Some guidance for this new year. Okay, so the first deck that I want to begin today is actually a yoga deck, because there's a lot of spiritual terms here that I want to bring about for this new year, and I used this one for last year as well. And I'm going to read from the book because I'm really feeling this, and I want to get like a few. I'm really feeling the vibes of yoga right now, and like mandalas and tuning in with the awakening and activation of our chakras. That's a huge message for this new year. It's definitely going to be a re-healing energy because of this rebirth that I am telling you about in my Lightworker University. And so this is going to require more self-care time for sure. So let's ask God and our spirit team to illuminate us on how we can best heal ourselves this year and focus on evolution of our soul and this ascension. That is the focus of this year, this rebirthing into this new life. That is the culmination up to the year 2022. I feel like the year 2022 is going to be the true beginning of us stepping out back into the world free. Okay, with everything that's happening in the world, let's be realistic and, be okay with this and accept it. because I feel like it's going to be a little bit like 2020, but to a lesser degree. So, okay, so let's ask a little bit of extra guidance for this new year. I'm feeling so comfortable, and look at this, kind of twisted like a Rubik's Cube, which is kind of funny, right? And you know what? I've actually thought about something. I had a conversation with my family members, of course, this whole week because of Christmas, had family members over, and it was fun. It was a fun sleepover, and definitely we had very interesting conversations. And one of the themes that actually came up is puzzles and Legos, right? Because I have a little brother, and he loves that, and that really gets our brain working. And even chess. I love playing chess. And this is definitely about strategy, right? Because think about it, that's what it represents. And I feel like we can all, this is exactly what even my sister said to me and to us as a whole, that, you know, it's good that now humanity is going back to like these board games and activities as family that were more kind of old school, right? More back in the day, you know, returning to our roots. Because back in the day, guess what? Family members used to bond over a board game, over a nice puzzle, over a nice cup of coffee, or anything like herbal tea or whatever, right? And they used to talk more. It wasn't all about technology, all about social media. Because, you know, at the end of the day, that really does affect the quality of our actual social relationships, person to person. Because that's what it's about. And I feel like we are returning to that as a collective, and especially when it comes to love, right? Because I see this all too much, which I don't understand, and maybe this is a huge reason why I'm not dating yet, because I'm a very old school person when it comes to love, and you know what? You just know when it's the person. It's just a feeling. I'm a very intuitive person, and I can just know when it's gonna be the one or not. And if it's not, you know, I don't waste my time with it, because my time is precious, and so is my energy. And I feel like, you know, now people who are like dating or wanting to date, it's all about like the text messaging, or it's all about like, oh, they didn't answer me, what does that mean? Like the very superficial things, right? And the social media aspect, right? Like stalking people on social media, what is that? That's not love, and that's not vibrational. And again, there are pros and cons when it comes to technology and social media, right? My perspective when it comes to social media and when it comes to technology as a whole is to bridge people together from different parts of the world. But it's not to get obsessed over it and to spend 24/7 on it. Okay, despite me doing a lot of my work now on social media, that's exactly what I use it for. I use it for business, not necessarily even for friendships or for love partnerships at all, because that's not where you find it. I see it as a marketing tool because that's exactly what it is. And I was bringing this up again in these family conversations, that back in the day, think of like, you know, all the marketing campaigns that they used to have, the commercials, that's all they had to promote a product. They had no such thing as social media yet. That's the initial reason why social media was born and created, for marketing purposes. And I feel like it's very effective for marketing purposes, very efficient. But I feel like there's a little group of people, well, actually a large majority of the collective, who are not very spiritually awake, you can say, that take it to the extreme, and you know, it's blown out of proportion. And that's not the point of why we have technology, why we have social media, right? Because we all still need that silence and that stillness. And this is a huge reason why I promote a lot my health and wellness brand, Body, Mind, and Spirit, because in meditation and yoga, it's great that we can all share these classes online and get together, and maybe you can just follow a video at your own time, which is what I prefer, right? But it's not like you always, you know, need to be even like socializing. There needs to be a moment for you to actually be within yourself. So it's a healthy balance between, you know, living life and going within. And I feel like this is a huge message because of what I just brought about, right? Going back to the roots of how we connect to people. And this is going to definitely play a huge role when it comes to love, getting to know new people, and dating, right? This is going to be about using your intuition and connected for the right reasons, the values, the deep morals, all of these things that are true and important in a relationship and in any sort of connection, whether it even be a friendship. There needs to be certain things in line. I'm gonna go deeper into this in the love show, but this is what it's about. And look at this, we got the karma card. Of course, I have been mentioning this so much. This is about letting go of the karma. See, shedding the tears from the past heartbreak and letting it go so that we can move on. Because when we move on, this is a butterfly. This is the transformation, us blooming into our highest potential, the ascension. And this is opening the book to new spiritual wisdom. Definitely take a look at my School of Light this year and my Body, Mind, and Spirit website, all my programs and my membership subscriptions, and definitely opening up our spiritual eye. And you know what? I have another surprise for all of you in store in my Body, Mind, and Spirit, which is going to be about spiritual love. I'll reveal that as we get closer, but this is definitely about spending time with your true soul tribe, a community of like-minded people who are on that same vibration, and shielding yourself from the outside world so that you can only be connecting directly with source, with higher beings even. And I'm so excited because my new Cosmic Consciousness show is also going to be launching again soon. This is all a part of my spiritual, my School of Light. And look at this, we got Tantra. This is what my new program is going to be about, actually. It's going to be about Tantra and spiritual love. So, you know, and my Sacred Woman Healing program as well in Egypt is coming up next year as well. So those are definitely very important programs. And of course, Heal from the Inside Out, doing more yoga, purification rituals, meditation. You know, the main trailer from my meditation series was actually in the ocean, in the middle of the ocean, because of this water energy, right? Shedding the emotions from the past and allowing ourselves to be rebirthed into a new beginning. Let's look up this definition, Dhyana. Look at this, and I open up to the page which says Dharma, and this is about, of course, our highest purpose, our soul contract, our karma, right, that we need to fulfill, our mission. So Dhyana is a yoga term that means it's the 8 stages of yoga. So this is, of course, more confirmation that more yoga is needed. We have concentration and meditation with the intention to know the truth, which is cosmic consciousness, right? When was the last time that you fully became immersed in what you were doing? This is about living in the moment. In my spiritual book club, the next book in line after A Course in Miracles is The Power of Now. So you definitely want to become a member of my School of Light. Dhyana is when the dancer becomes the dance. This is about embodying that beautiful energy. The singer becomes the song, and the painter becomes the paint. The lover becomes the love. So this is definitely about sparking up this artistic side of ourselves and getting creative this year. There is no difference between the doer and the deed. You merge as one. This is how we create beautiful manifestations and masterpieces of artwork, by actually immersing ourselves 100% into that project. You have pulled a Dhyana card to remind you that now is the time to transition from doing to actually embodying. So this is about fully immersing in the moment. Can't emphasize this enough, but to the max. Find that which you can emerge with and practice it fully. Become the words in your journal. Everything that you've learned in my New You Tell Me Soul Coaching program, now is the time to put it into practice in this new year 2021. The asana in your practice. So become the words in your journal, the asana in your practice, the nature with which you surround yourself, and notice your presence expand. Now, if you're having a hard time embodying this energy, then this message is for you. Fear, loneliness, jealousy, sadness, and anger all come from the same source, separation. How appropriate, because actually chapter 2 from A Course in Miracles, The Illusion of Separation, is free on my YouTube channel. So you want to check out that session if this is something that you're having trouble with before you approach the new year. The illusion that we are separate from all around us fundamentally creates the human condition of suffering. Your suffering is self-imposed, basically. No one is causing that suffering for you, not even a situation that perhaps is not going according to your expectation. It's your own mindset from that situation that's causing the suffering. So our identities are temporary states or being. You are being you, and I am being me. The bird is being a bird. The tree is being a tree. However, we all arise from the same source, Atman, which is consciousness. How appropriate. I'm so excited for that show. Through dhyana, the practice of deep concentration, which we do this in meditation and in yoga, you become fully immersed with that which you are concentrating on and experience oneness with God, with Source, with your higher self too. With this, you are experiencing a glimpse of your soul. You are the sunlight, the earth, the moon, and the soil. And you are never alone. This is a perfect message for this new year. And you know what? I'm being called to jump to the cards, Work Your Light. These are cards for light workers. And I also have my starseed cards. Because there's messages here about our higher mission, our double mission, or a triple mission if some of you out there are being called for that. And we're gonna get that card that it just fell on when you saw that. Sometimes angels work that way, but let's listen. Okay. So now let's move on to the next. So I'm gonna get the second row here. This one's calling me right now. What we can expect for this new year, how we can best make up the energy. So let's see the first question right now that we want to begin. Just get some general guidance. How we can best heal ourselves and attract this beautiful love that wants to enter our life. Of course, it's about patience, the waiting game. And it did come out in the reverse, so I feel like there's still a little bit of waiting to be done for this new world, these manifestations to bloom into its fullest potential. And you know, actually the story that I just thought of right now was the story of Joseph from the Bible. Joseph, who was sold to slavery to Egypt. And I don't know if you all saw the movie, but there is a movie, a cartoon movie that you should all watch. It's actually from Disney. And when he was locked in the cell, because the Pharaoh thought that he came onto his wife, but it was really the wife that came onto him. And so he was locked up. And while he was locked up, he started planting a tree. And this tree grew eventually. And when it finally bloomed its green leaves, that's when he was freed. And I feel like this is the energy that's coming through. It's like, and I said this in the last spirituality retreat, right? That we're not yet quite free, but we're getting there. Now, I know that this word free can mean many things for you, but when I say the word free, I'm using it to the most maximum extent, which means emotional independence, financial independence, being at your maximum, your highest goals accomplished. That's gonna take some time. Okay, so let's get a little extra, I guess, detail about this energy. And you know, this is the orbiting. You see, this man here is walking along the pathway, and it looks like he is going in circles. Oh my God. It looks like he's going in circles, because if you see these circles, it's kind of getting bigger and bigger. But he's not going in circles. The spiral is just getting wider. You see, so, or it can go backwards, right? He started very far away, and now he's getting closer to this goal. So it looks like he's going in circles, But every new cycle that we go through, every new lesson and chapter in our life is a little better than the next one, is closer to our fulfillment as humans, you can say, in this lifetime. And we are evolving, okay? Even though it might not seem like it, even though it may seem like some things are repeating itself, really it's not. It's better than last time. And of course, this also reminds me of the levels of our aura, which is what I talk about in my book, and our chakras, right? We have the physical body, the mental body, the emotional body, and then our spiritual body, very close to our soul, our higher self. So this is also making sure that we're very connected to our interior self, and not just living through a 3D reality through our ego, right? It's not just about the material, even the carnal desires, because that's the illusion there, and that's going to take you away from your purpose. There needs to be a healthy balance. And you know, this is for some of you, I'm getting another message. If any of you have karma, like it came out in the other one, that you haven't yet paid, or that you know that you've done wrong in your life, right? Because the Course in Miracles teaches us that through atonement, you can gain this forgiveness and this ability to start anew. But if you don't, then you're staying in this prison cell all by your own doing, right? And especially if you keep making the same mistakes. So again, this is based on free will. And how bad do you want to move forward, or how bad do you want to stay stuck? It's up to you. Okay, so I was shuffling these cards off camera, and actually this is what came out. And I want to mention something. You know, we have this number 2, which in numerology represents many things. It can represent partnership, but it can also represent balance. So are you in balance again in life between work and play, your health and the other aspects of your life? And this is also telling us that we're not going to get this spiritual love until everything else is in line, right? We need to do our healing. And look at this, we got the stand your ground in reverse, which is about assertiveness, self-confidence, and self-esteem. Tuning into our inner power, right, with source, and the universe is working for our favor. This is destiny, right? In divine timing is when all of this will come about. This is also telling me, this is kind of like becoming the king, right? Because this is a lion that represents leadership. And this is the old soul also within us, this man with white hair, ancestral knowledge, ancestral wisdom. And the number 7 is the spiritual card. And with the number 21, this is the world card, right? The world card, and we got here, let go of the chains that are holding you down and step into your truth, which is your spiritual truth. So this is by assertiveness, breaking any attachments that need to be broken, and stepping into your fullest potential. Empowerment is what I'm getting. So that's the message for today, so that you can move forward with this card. And let me get this one too. I want to get some energy oracle cards. Wow, we got Archangel Metatron, which he is the 6th chakra, the 3rd eye angel. And this is about opening and activating our spiritual eye, which is what my mindful meditation program is all about. So you should definitely take a look at that program, because every week I come up with a special message that's going to help you to activate this. And this is exactly our guidance. The number 40 card, this is going to bring us more stability, because we're going to know and see beyond the truth. We're going to be able to see the truth. And whatever truth we need to speak, or whatever truth we need to move into, we hold the key to do this, kind of like being the alchemist of your life. And it's funny because look at this. If you see there's a window. He's looking out at the universe. This is the universe. How appropriate. This is the dreams that he wants to step into and manifest. You hold the key to your dreams, but you need to let go of those chains that are keeping you stuck, because he's stuck there, you see. So this is powerful energy for this new year, 2021. I want to get some sacred geometry activation cards and also these zodiac cards. I want to see what planet from the cosmos wants to come through. Right away, we got Pisces in reverse. This is, of course, telling us more creativity because Pisces represents also the spiritual realm and our creative aspect. There's a lot of color in here, and allowing ourselves to embody this God and Goddess within us, right? Let's read a little deeper into this because this can also be, the 12th house energy, which does represent spirituality, the spiritual world, the unseen, right? The artist. So this is about becoming the artist this year. Okay, so the planet Pisces, well, actually the zodiac sign Pisces, is a water sign and it's beautiful. And the key phrase is, I believe. This is about belief in miracles, belief in our dreams able to come true. This intuitive energy of water flows and flows and flows through the changeableness of the mutable quality. There's creativity and psychic insights available, probably hidden in plain sight. Unless you don't go in stillness, you won't be able to have access to that. So the key phrase, I believe, means that you do believe that the answers are out there and that you, by paying attention as only as you can and seeing through your spiritual eye, you will find them. In this situation, ask yourself, how can I tap into the compassionate heart of the universe? How appropriate, right, with the card that we just got, the universe. Listen and see with your heart. Pisces energy is very aware of the unseen currents in the world, including the emotions of others. So this is about having empathy towards others and compassion where they might be at. This can be overwhelming, so employ simple energetic protection techniques and avoid destruction, escapism, which that's one of the negative side effects, right? Alcoholism, over drinking, doing drugs to escape your reality, numbing yourself. That's not healthy and that's not conducive to spiritual growth. So if that's you, please make that one of your new resolutions to absolutely recover from that, because you're only doing yourself a disservice and holding yourself back. Now for some sacred geometry cards. Right away, we got the authority card, which is about leadership, right? The frequency of authority reminds us that true authority is powerful, directed, and realized, yet receptive, wise, and loving. And this is the number 10 card. You see alchemy right underneath this. The frequency of alchemy activates our magical ability and remembrance of the magic that we all hold inside. Each one of us has the potential to access the ancient knowledge that allowed the true alchemist to perform the miracles of transmutation. That's a beautiful energy because that's what we're moving into. Believing in our ability to manifest, self-esteem, self-confidence, and our ability to change. See, we got belief and change. Now, the word authority has been used to describe the powers that rule, govern, lead, direct, control, and protect. But it has also been closely associated with the powers that dominate, suppress, enforce, demand, and scare us. Authority is all about power. But true authority is generated by maturity, also gentleness and gracefulness. It's not forceful. Knowledge, wisdom, experience, and inner balance. This kind of power comes from within, where it is deeply rooted in a solid connection to source. This is what being a Lightworker is all about. Externally, this power expresses itself as presence, the ability to be completely in the moment, with full awareness of every aspect of oneself, all senses fully engaged, while being completely centered in the heart. Internally, this power steps back to witness, allowing us to perceive and discern without attachment. From all of this, a new form of authority rises, one that leads, shares, directs, and conducts with benevolence, grace, compassion, wisdom, and integrity. This kind of authority inspires trust, creation, collaboration, and partnership. And this also goes for relationships, right? It is receptive in nature and expresses the journey inward, where connection with self and source become one. And this is what Tantra is all about. It's more than just a physical passion. There's a lot more that goes into that. Green represents the energy that abundantly flows from the heart chakra. Turquoise represents the higher heart chakra, which I also talk about in my book, sometimes referred to as the thymus chakra, the place where heart and throat energies merge into loving expression of truth, and also our love for the world, for the community. Gold and yellow represent this abundance for this new year, truth, enlightenment, and self-realization, or self-actualization, which is what my New You Tell Me So Much program is all about, self-actualization. Now in numerology, 3 is considered a catalytic number. It stands for an energy that speeds up or creates a reaction between 2 unrelated things without necessarily changing itself. It's kind of like the mediator between the other 2 energies, right? And there are many 6s in this image. See, because there's 3 ovals. In a partnership, I did say this in another video in my Q&A soul coaching, that this is 2 partners and this is the relationship. There's a healthy balance between their individuality and the actual partnership. 6 is associated with harmony, love, and balance, as well as with structure, design, and efficiency. So conceptually, circles stand for everything and nothing at all, balance and infinity, purity and freedom. So try this exercise today. Close your eyes and contemplate the concept of authority for a moment. How does the word make you feel? Do you consider yourself an authority in certain areas? Are you kind and wise in your guidance of other people? And are you coming from a place of wholeness and balance? Beautiful message. Okay, now let's move on to the next. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the Work Your Light cards. This is for light workers, and I feel like there's a message here. We got the Starseed card. What lights you up? And this is Saturn right here in the background. So this is definitely, Saturn in Aquarius at this moment. What a beautiful energy. And look at this, the Council of Light working behind the scenes. Divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms. Like my dream. Even Jesus is here, Mother Mary. Wow. All of the Council of Light is here. All of these sacred enlightened masters are here to help us. Starseeds, what did I just say before? Starseeds are souls with a double mission, to raise their own consciousness and the consciousness of the planet. They are old souls who have been incarnated elsewhere beyond this planet. Many starseeds arrive with a feeling that time is running out, and that there is something that they came here to do, or create, or contribute. And this is what we've all been feeling, like there's just not enough time. If you pull this card, it's to confirm that you are a starseed, and that you're being encouraged to answer the call, to follow what lights you up. Once awake, most starseed souls find it hard to have meaningless conversations, jobs, and relationships, right? Because you don't see the point anymore. There's more to do, deeper stuff. They innately know that there is much more to life and feel that there is something more and time to get to work. They remain restless until they step into their calling, which is to light up the world with their unique presence. Starseeds are scattered all over the planet, in hospitals, schools, in slums, mansions, on stages, in edit suites, in parks and nightclubs, in taxis and theme parks. Many starseeds spend parts of their lives trying to fit in, or in some form of spiritual closet. If you're dimming your light to fit in, it's time that you stop and start embracing this unique light that you came here to share, and treat your time on earth like a glorious vacation, a beautiful message for 2021. Live like you're living a glorious vacation, and ask yourself what lights you up, your true passion. So make sure to take some time off as well this new year, 2021, whether it's a week, a month, or a few months, to do what it is that lights you up, to do your true mission. And now let's get the Starseed Oracle, because I feel like this one also wants to come through. And there is messages here. Okay, right away we open up to the activated earth. And this is ley lines, power places around the world. Think like the Egyptian pyramids, the Sphinx, and there's other architecture around the world. Trust where you're being led, wherever that might be, because that's where you're going to get these energy vortexes being channeled onto you and activated. Because guess what? You are a star keeper, and this is the Egyptian monument, like I was just saying. See the light by staying grounded. So this is exactly what we're approaching, Egypt energy. I'm going to be talking a lot about this in the year 2021, including in my School of Light. My Egyptian mythology course is an amazing course that you definitely need to participate in. Alright. And of course my Sacred Woman Healing Program. So let's move on to the next cards. Okay, so I'm feeling called to the crystal power tarot today. We're going to get some crystals that we can work with this year. We got the Four of Wands, which is the garnet, that's actually a crystal that's great for vitality and even for your blood. So if any of you are dealing with any health issues, or maybe it's just certain vitamins, make sure that you're focused on getting your holistic nutrition. The universe brings all that I need to feel blissful. This is the stability card as well. The Ten of Pentacles in reverse. You know, maybe a lot of you are still kind of trying to bring up your finances and create stability in your financial compartment in life, right? But celebrate everything that you achieve along the way until eventually you will reach your victory. You see this Ace of Cups. That's going to be a truly emotionally fulfilling situation. I welcome new love and trust what it brings. Now this could be new love in an actual relationship, or it could be new love for your career. And we have the Knight of Wands in reverse, which makes sense because this is about maybe us not feeling yet good enough, solid enough, confident enough. So you need to make decisions without pressure. You need to be more assertive, like we just said before, right? In the decisions that you make in life. The yellow calcite is a stone that can help you with this, activating your solar plexus. This is a great card, and this is about taking more action. You see the Knight card is all about taking action, running to this new destination. No walking, just run into it. You know what I mean? What are you waiting for is what it's saying. Time is running out, right? When it comes to this double mission. So you need to kind of speed it up a little bit. It's kind of like we're being pressured a little bit, but not feeling like we're pressured. Like the pressure's on, but don't let it stress you out. You need to just kind of step it up the next level. Okay, so for this deck of my Woman's Body, Woman's Wisdom Oracle cards, this is exactly the energy that I said before. We got the Partnership card in reverse for this new year, but we got the Prepare card in the upright. And this is about through nurturance and self-care. So this is definitely a year of still healing ourselves and returning to purification. See, she's wearing white, and it's almost like a white translucent dress, which symbolizes vulnerability, returning to this rawness of who we really are. And almost naked in a way, that's vulnerability, right? Being transparent in our relationships. And you know, this reminds me of my Sacred Woman Healing Program. It's going to be a very powerful program for all of us. And only then, when we're able to complete that program, are we going to be able to step into a sacred union, which is that's the only thing that's allowed in our life, you see, and come together in this enlightened heart and mind as one. See, a partnership here, and they're both doing yoga here together, which is so beautiful. And they complement each other, as you see in this complex yoga pose. But it's four, and look at this, it's also black and white. One of them is wearing black and the other one's wearing white. This is the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine coming together as one. Beautiful message. Wow. Let's get a Heal Yourself card. How can we help with this healing again? More healing I want to hear. And I'm going to get some Reiki cards as well to bring in more Reiki. And my chakra cards. And right away, I knew this was going to come up. We got the home card. See, we're still going to be at home. But this is also about, you know, going in our inner home, right? And into our heart. She has a green chain, a green crystal chain, lighting up candles, going into the inner wisdom of our past. And what I mean by past is like ancestral lineage past. And learning about history. And it's the number 35 card, which is about body, mind, and spirit changes that need to be made. Certain adjustments, like we read in the other card, that we're going to get insight into this by going within. In stillness and silence is when we can get clear guidance from above. Now this is going to be different for everybody, so it's your job to do your homework, basically. Now I want to get some Osho Zen Tarot. It's been a while since I've been wanting to get these a card again. I haven't used these in a while. And these are the transcendental game of Zen. How do we reach this inner Zen this year? You know, like, even though there may be still chaos out in the world, we can still reach this inner Zen. There's nothing stopping you but your own self, right? So let's get some guidance on this. A general guidance for 2021. Right away, we got two cards. More need to slow down, for sure. We got the slowing down in reverse. Be more like a turtle, slow and steady wins the race, and participation. Maybe with others. Receptivity of love. You see, we got the Lovers in reverse. So let's get some deeper insight into that participation card. It's the Four of Fire, which is basically like the Four of Wands, which you got that in the crystal cards, remember? So that's coming up strong. Four of Wands card. So this is a mandala. How appropriate, right, with my pillows? Each figure in this mandala holds the right hand up in an attitude of receiving and the left hand down in an attitude of giving. So this is the balance of receiving and giving. Making sure that we're giving to others, but we're also receiving, taking time to nurture ourselves. And this is also the equal receptivity in relationships. But guess what? Since we got the receptivity cards, I feel like there is a little bit of out of balance with receiving blessings from the universe. Maybe you're over giving. And maybe you need to just take care more of you. Maybe you have hard time trouble receiving love from others, recognition, compliments. The whole circle creates a tremendous energy field that takes on the shape of the double door shape, or the Tibetan symbol for the thunderbolt. The mandala has a quality like that of the energy field that forms around a Buddha, which is a topic that we go about in my spiritual gatherings in my School of Light every first Sunday of the month, so once a month. where all the individuals taking part in the circle make a unique contribution to create a unified and vital whole. So of course, this is about community as well. Maybe receiving help from others. It's like a flower whose wholeness is even more beautiful than the sum of its parts. When everything comes together, it makes something even more beautiful exponentially. At the same time, enhancing the beauty of each individual petal, because they all make up that huge flower. You have an opportunity to participate with others, now to make your contribution to creating something greater and more beautiful than each of you can manage alone. So I really do feel like this is kind of like a message or a prophecy that this year we are going to come together with new soul tribes. People that are on the same mission with us. A community that's going to help even exponentially grow this mission in whatever way that means for you. Your participation will not only nourish you, but it will also contribute to something precious to the whole. So, have you ever seen the night going? Very few people even become aware of things which are happening every day. Have you ever seen the evening coming, the midnight and its song, the sunrise and its beauty? We are behaving almost like blind people. In such a beautiful world, we are living in small ponds of our own misery. It is familiar, so even if somebody wants to pull you out, you struggle. You don't want to be pulled out of your misery, of your suffering. Otherwise, there's so much joy all around. You just have to be aware of it and become a participant, not a spectator of your life, basically, right? Because philosophy is speculation. Zen is participation. There's a difference, right? Again, a difference between doing something and embodying that energy, like we said at the beginning of today's retreat. Participate in the night leaving. Participate in your life. Again, live in the moment. Participate in the evening coming. Participate in the stars and participate in the clouds. Make participation your lifestyle, and the whole existence becomes such a joy, such an ecstasy. You could not have dreamed of a better universe. This is how we create heaven on earth. And this is the basic principle of A Course in Miracles. So this is a beautiful energy on how we can reach this inner Zen. Again, same energy. These are just confirming what we said at the beginning. Live in the moment. And this is more greatly powerful than any other year, because, you know, this year has taught us a great lesson that we should not take life for granted, right? And we should definitely make the most of it. Okay, so now I'm definitely gonna get my Reiki cards. How we can open up more of our hearts. And then we're gonna get chakra cards. Three messages. Practice happiness by living in the moment and becoming aware of what's all around you in nature. It's a beautiful message. Practice happiness because, as His Holiness the Dalai Lama says, the purpose of life is to be happy. The present moment is the one that you're living now, the only moment over which you have any control. So to be present is to be alive, and to feel alive right now, this very minute. Life doesn't always turn out the way that we expect, but as long as we continue to struggle and strive to bring things under our control, we're just creating an energy cycle that makes things worse. However, there's no point in just squashing your fears and worries down. Instead, try to become aware of what you're really afraid of or worrying about, and then send love and Reiki to that fearful part of yourself. Now the answer is internal, and have more compassion with yourself. Today I will be kind to every living creature, including yourself. Now unfortunately, many people don't have much awareness of their spiritual selves, so they spend a lot of time trying to fill an inexplicable void within themselves by seeking power, money, and material success. But the answer doesn't lie outside ourselves, it's internal, not external. And it's the essence within all of us, the wise, loving, powerful, and creative inner core of our being, that some call the higher or inner self. So it's definitely a year of connecting with our higher self and living through it, embodying our higher self and letting go of the ego, which that's what A Course in Miracles will help us do. Now let's get a chakra card. What's the chakra that needs alignment this year? More color as well in your life. So if any of you are feeling depressed or lost your spirit, then not only watch my videos, but this is about bringing in more color in your life by doing the things that make you happy and being around people that uplift your spirit as well. Because if you're around people who are toxic or negative or bringing down your self-esteem, then that's not doing you any good, right? And we have the enhanced perception. This is the third eye chakra. Exactly. My mindful meditation program is going to help you with this awakening and activation more than anything, and developing more your intuition, sharpening it. Access your inner wisdom hidden deep in the well of your being. Hear the whispers of benevolent spirits and see the visions of things yet unseen that you can only have access to when your spiritual eye is clear and open. When your intuition expands, your perception is enhanced and you are able to fully transcend duality. In a multidimensional universe, we have access to many more tools and possibilities than we realize. Receive these gifts of clear sight and clear awareness. They are yours to work with and enjoy. Now, I just got remembered of a series on Apple TV which is called See. And it's a great series of a show. It's only 8 episodes because it talks about a civilization that didn't have any literal eyesight. So they had a highly keen intuitive sixth sense because that was their only way of being able to get around, hunt, and protect themselves, right? So that's kind of like we're being guided to do as well as a whole generation. Sharpen up this sixth sense because that's what we've been missing for living truly emotionally fulfilled, for seeking the true answers that we've been seeking all along in life. And I feel like, you know, this is the time to do this. And I feel like that's how I'm going to conclude today. Let's do a little bit of sambo right before we finish this right now. So I'm going to bring that up and that's how we'll finish. Okay, so we're just going to do a few minutes here. Like just 3 minutes here of inhaling courage and exhaling fear. If you want more guided meditations, make sure that you become a member of my year-round meditation series, my yoga series, and my holistic nutrition series. But let me send you all with a little bit of Reiki healing energy with all this guidance that we got today. Let us manifest it and let us do as we're told. Inhale the willingness to do these changes, to implement these new habits and create this new spiritual high vibrational lifestyle. Let us all live in peace, in wellness, and in health. Thank you, God, for being present here today and always guiding us in the right direction of love, light, and a beautiful ecstasy of this heaven on earth. We welcome in new high vibrational relationships, love partnerships, and new opportunities this year. And we are all blessed and grateful and show appreciation with all that we've been given. May you all have a beautiful, loving, high vibrational new year. Stay safe. My name is Christie Ramirez and I am your health and wellness expert. Please join my membership subscriptions that are year-round, my programs. Take a look at more detail on my website, christieramirez.com, and subscribe, sign up to my free mailing list. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I'm wishing you all an amazing and beautiful day. Namaste.